Oh, are we live to both?
Should be.
Okay, hello, welcome. Welcome to Awesome Hardware, episode 190, Side B. If you missed Side A, go ahead and check it out on Paul's channel, youtube.com/Paul's Hardware. You can find the link in my video description, or just stay right where you are if you're streaming or if you're watching us on twitch.tv/Awesome Hardware. This is a live show that we do every single Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, and we occasionally have a nice alcoholic beverage, an adult beverage. Cheers to all of you if you're watching this at home, at work, wherever it may be.
In the pool?
We occasionally, in the pool, in the lounge, we occasionally use adult language on the show. We like to get a little loose and have some fun. So if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, be warned. Whoa, that was a terrible pour.
What? I was trying to do it quick so I could drink since we did cheers and I didn't drink after the cheers.
Looks like they haven't updated your firmware on pouring sensitivity yet. That's okay.
That's a perfectly human error to make, Kyle. It's a normal mistake that a human would make.
You're very quick at internally Googling human mistakes and errors. It's impressive. I'm impressed. Watch Side A if you have no idea what we're talking about right now. We also occasionally sell things on our stores that you will occasionally buy and occasionally support us on. My store is bitwit.tech, and I'm currently selling the new
/store.
Or it works without the story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a purist link.
You gave up on having a website besides the store.
I gave up on the website. I was like, let's just make it a storefront. I followed in your footsteps.
Where's the home link go then?
The home just goes to the store. Oh no, it does go to the home, but there's just no updated content. It's like years old. That was updated.
Awesome Hardware number 77.
If you want to take a trip down memory lane, go to the bitwit.tech/home site.
Still feeding from your
Still
Twitter
feeding, that's all real time.
Okay.
That's all current, but yes, bitwit.tech is my store. Screw with Confidence shirts still on sale. You can go ahead and pick one of those up in either flavor. Paul's store is paulshardware.net. He has the Captain Thumbscrew shirt, as well as a bunch of other nice merchandise that is super high quality.
It's real good.
We'll yell Johnston at you at the end of the show if you happen to pick something from either of our stores.
Look at that beer set. It's a great beer set.
Foam. Much better pour than yours.
Thumbscrew logo.
Android Paul. And then, let's see, I guess that's pretty much it. That was a really quick and efficient intro. We can just dive straight into the news, starting with our big headline today, which is AMD's X570 chipset.
590, Kyle.
That was, I'm sorry, X590. I read it and I completely skipped over.
Kind of suckers out there
bought
X570 already. Now they're just regretting it.
You can't buy X570 yet.
X570 is not out.
But the X590 chipset's been teased by ASUS. It was seen in a Gigabyte BIOS as well. Twitter user at OneUSMUS, I don't know how to pronounce that. He actually tweeted out this ASUS teaser of X590. He's apparently the developer for the DRAM calculator for Ryzen. So he's got some street cred there, I suppose. But it's a very, very basic teaser. It says X590 coming soon, and you can see it's just sort of a blacked out motherboard. You can barely see the edges, the corners of the board. Looks like a full ATX offering, but
I'm
not
disappointed
much
with the power delivery.
Power delivery is almost invisible, almost non-existent.
I want to see BuildZoid do an analysis of this picture.
He'd be able to pull like so much information, probably just from those four tiny corners of the board.
Oh, yeah.
It'd still be like a 15-minute video. That guy's awesome. Since then, ComputerBase.de is sort of an isolated incident here, but ComputerBase.de found some upcoming Gigabyte X570 motherboard BIOS files that contain options for X570 and X590 chipsets. If you look at the code there you see 590 chipset in the flesh. So there's little to be known about X590 right now. It's still very much shrouded in mystery. There is some speculation, though. People are guessing that there's going to be more PCIe Gen 4 lanes offered for power users who need to take advantage of more I/O, for example, and also potentially better overclocking support for the higher-end top-shelf CPUs from AMD, such as the Ryzen 9 3950X, which is a 16-core CPU that's arriving in September, which may also kind of make sense as to why that chip's being delayed and pushed back beyond the rest of the Ryzen 3000 family. Perhaps AMD's still working on the X590 chipsets and waiting to release their flagship CPU when that chipset's finally ready. Just some speculation there.
But I feel like you're slowly moving out of frame.
Oh, I'm sorry. Just Very excited.
It's okay.
Okay, I'll get more inward. All right.
I don't smell anything.
No, you're totally fine. It's not you. It's not you. It's me.
Oh, the spammer's back.
not
Wow,
you, it's
look
me.
at that.
Holy shit! Oh God!
I hate that person.
Can I put user in timeout? Okay.
I'm just gonna keep coming.
Where's the auto ban option?
So many of them. That wasn't going on my channel, was it?
I don't think so.
They must only hit the people with 1.5 million subscribers or more.
Yeah. Right.
That's why I keep in a nice,
Could
reasonable, just over 1 million subscriber range.
Ah,
That's
yes.
what I go for there.
It's all very methodically planned. Okay, so that's X590. Again, we don't have much to say about it. Any thoughts on that, Paul? Or
I was gonna say, because like I was talking to Joe because we want to build him a new editing system soon, and he was talking about the new Ryzen chips and the core count because more cores and threads for editing and transcoding. He renders proxies for every video he edits and stuff.
Yeah.
But he was like, so what's the difference? And I was like, well, if you look at Threadripper or even the high-end desktop Intel stuff, it's really like connectivity, like PCI Express lanes.
Right.
Because you have 64 with Threadripper.
Yeah.
Which is a lot. So I was like, my Riptide setup, because I have, I don't know how many NVMe SSDs I have connected and more SSDs.
Yeah.
And I have a bunch of drives, storage drives, and it's really nice and convenient. But there's no way I could get that level of that many drives connected up on mainstream Ryzen.
Sure.
Even the 3rd gen stuff, because they're not really adding more PCIe lanes or anything like that. You still got 24. 16 go to the PCI Express slots, 4 dedicated for an NVMe drive.
Right.
And then 4 go off to the chipset, and then they're multiplexed out from there for more connectivity.
Yeah.
It's PCI Express Gen 4, so you can get a lot more connectivity, like through the chipset and stuff, without necessarily bottlenecking, but it's still not going to be a full fat connection like you'd want for an NVMe RAID array or something like that.
Yeah.
All that is to say, something I could see them doing to potentially differentiate X590, if this truly is something that they're coming out with, is like every single board has integrated PLX chip or a multiplexer for the PCI Express lanes to give it more. Which in the past was something that they did only with the highest end motherboards, because those multiplexer chips are like a pretty significant added cost for the motherboard.
Yeah.
But especially for the 12 core and 16 core, that would
People are more likely to splurge on a motherboard.
that would seem like a more practical use for it there, because that would make it much more competitive with the high-end desktop options.
Makes me have high hopes for 3rd gen Threadripper, because it's going to need to step up its own game quite significantly, because with X570 and now especially X590, it seems to be encroaching on a lot of the nice features that platform offers. So it really puts in your mind, like, okay, well, the Threadripper developers are going to really have to separate those two platforms enough for people to actually buy into them. So it's very interesting. But we also have some news on the lower end, sort of budget entry level platforms, such as the B550 and B520, or is it A520?
A520?
A520. B550 and A520 chipsets, which are also AMD AM4. Those are presumably going to support PCIe Gen 3, but they very well may support Gen 4 too, because Gen 4 is backwards compatible with Gen 3, and the Ryzen 3000 chips also have 24 Gen 4 lanes that it's possible that these chipsets can have their own, like the primary PCIe by 16 lane, or slot, I should say, and one M.2 port actually supporting PCIe Gen 4. That would be wired directly to the processor. So that would be kind of cool if you had like a budget, sort of editing system or a workstation system that could really utilize PCIe Gen 4 storage, for example. As we've talked about extensively, gaming is not going to benefit that much from PCIe Gen 4. It hardly benefits a whole lot from PCIe Gen 3 as is. So where the real gains are to be had here is really within storage. We saw a lot of the numbers that companies like Gigabyte were showing off at Computex just recently of just ridiculous RAID arrays, like 4 2 terabyte NVMe SSDs that are PCIe Gen 4, hitting speeds of like upwards of 15 gigabytes a second, which is ludicrous. And we even saw a demo at the AMD press conference just before E3 where they were showing off 8K, an 8K editing workflow, I believe, in Premiere Pro, where they were showing a much smoother
I think that was
playback with PCIe Gen 4.
I don't think it was Premiere. I think it was.
Was it DaVinci Resolve?
Resolve.
Okay, so it was Resolve, but still a very popular program that was just super fluid, very smooth playback at 8K. Specifically leveraging the additional bandwidth on PCIe Gen 4.
There's a few people in YouTube chat talking about an audio issue. The fact that absolutely no one in Twitch chat has mentioned it makes me think that it might be a YouTube thing. I've seen a few people recommend to reload or something.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm checking our levels and stuff over here, and it looks like we're still okay. So I don't think that's
check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, PCIe Gen 4 is something to definitely get excited about if you're one of the users who can actually leverage the new tech, that new standard. But it'll be interesting to see if whether or not B550 will be able to support it in some way. It might be like limited features or something like that, but
most people are saying the audio is fine. So apologies to anyone who is having problems. Maybe try refreshing or something.
Okay.
Reverb is normal. That's because we still need more.
Yeah.
You have a lot already in here.
I have a lot of sound deadening material on that wall.
That wall is
yeah, it's probably that wall too. But I mean, you've got the window, which cuts out definitely. It's got fabric blinds over it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's like I maybe need to do some sound insulation for the ceiling perhaps too.
Oh yeah, the ceiling is a big flat.
I think it's really the ceiling too, because whatever is hitting there, it's just bouncing up there. So I have to figure it out. Sorry guys. It's a work in progress. I may even move this whole studio somewhere else completely in the near future, but I've said too much. Let's move on to our next article, which is from Hexus about the RX 5700, the other headline in today's half of the show, which is some unfortunate news if you were hoping to get your hands on a full-blown add-in board partner custom-modeled RX 5700 series GPU at launch. That is unfortunately not the case, according to Fudzilla, who quoted various sources and discovered that there will be no custom RX 5700 series designs until mid-August. And that's in quote, if all goes well. Ooh, that's dangerous. That dangerous, unfortunate line leaves it very open-ended. But at the very best, we can hope for custom models in mid-August. For now, if you wanted to purchase a 5700 or 5700 XT at launch, which is going to be presumably on July 7th, then you'll be limited to one of their AMD's reference design coolers, which is fortunately being well received by companies and press around the world for its airflow optimized and acoustically tuned contours. It's got vapor chamber cooling tech. It's OC ready with a 6+1 phase power design. And it has pre-applied, specially selected graphite-based thermal interface material. So it's got a lot going for it. Of course, this is all kind of speculation as to how well it's going to perform until the reviews come out. So again, don't pre-order these just because it looks good on paper, because people have been saying good things. You never really know how it's going to perform until it's actually out on the market and properly tested. So yeah, I wasn't really sure. I felt it was a 50-50 shot of custom models being available on launch. It's not uncommon for this sort of thing to happen. And mid-August is really just about a month around the corner from launch day, so it's not too bad. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if board partners will switch up their designs for the 5700, or if they're going to sort of just rehash what they've used with RX Vega. And even like the cooler designs on RTX cards, or if they're going to be completely,
I imagine we'll see a lot of reused cooler designs for
because it's a lot cheaper.
Cooler in the heatsink in the fan.
Yeah.
But
or what?
Who's really happy about this information?
Who's that?
Gamers Nexus.
Oh.
This means they get to do water-cooled mod.
I was going to say, yeah.
For-
as soon as I read that, I thought that. I was like,
for
oh,
the
Steve's probably going to
reference
put an AIO on it at some point. Which, I love that shit.
Probably haven't.
It's great. Maybe
It's always fun to watch.
we should one-up it.
We should do that too. No promises.
No promises. No guarantees.
If you guys hear a fan noise, Kyle's fan on his laptop does keep spinning up and down.
It is my laptop.
You might be hearing that.
I don't know. It's probably Chrome.
Chrome
Look,
just making
50,
it so mad.
60% CPU. It's hovering between 30 and 60% CPU utilization because Google Chrome, it says 19. Does that mean there's 19 instances of Google Chrome?
Each tab is an instance.
But I don't have 19 tabs open. I have maybe 7 or 8. Look, there's 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, and you've got secret tabs.
What secret tabs?
The tabs that it opens in the background that
No!
monitors your progress and what you're doing and stuff.
That sounds terrible. I'm switching to Mozilla. I actually already switched to Firefox on my workstation PC.
Everyone install Firefox.
Everyone install Firefox and uninstall Chrome. Chrome is the new Edge.
And Edge is the new Chrome since they're both using Chromium.
Edge is the new Chrome. Fight me. All right, let's move on to, speaking of NVMe Gen 4, hey, SSDs, Tech Power Up did an article on Gigabyte releasing their new NVMe Gen 4 SSDs. It's going to feature the Toshiba BISC 4 NAND flash modules, and it's going to offer up to 40% boost over PCIe Gen 3. As I mentioned, the read and write speeds were like ridiculously high, over 10 gigabits per second, when you have multiple PCIe Gen 4 NVMe drives in like a RAID 0 array, for example.
Why do they stamp text on the side like thermal design for Gen 4?
You can't see it. You can't really. Where's that going to be visible?
And it's not like it's good text.
No, it's
bad
hard to
text.
read. It's just basic.
Damn it.
It's weird.
Gigabyte. And it's
Sequential reads of this drive, just a single drive, are going to be, or sequential reads and writes are about 5,000 and 4,400 megabytes per second, respectively, which is ridiculously fast. It's going to be offered in 500 gig, 1 terabyte, and 2 terabyte capacities in a 2280 module sizing, which is pretty standard.
a 2 terabyte M.2 drive is really just awesome.
Oh yeah,
It's so great.
I still have I have 2 of the 960 Pro 2 terabyte ones that I put in the Elite build back in the day. Now one of them's been sadly reduced to an external drive because
That's such a
it's such a waste of its
Yeah.
performance. But I just needed the capacity more than anything because our project files are so large these days. We're moving them around, and then the other one is in my primary workstation, so that one's actually being used as a scratch disk, and it's phenomenal. But
nice.
these are going to be even better, so maybe I should upgrade.
It's wrapped in copper.
To resin. Wrapped in copper, it's got a full body copper heatsink and LAIRD high conductivity thermal pad, which is going to help with the heat dissipation, as well as the 30 sandblasted fins on the actual heatsink itself. These are ultra durable certified, meaning that they've been put through the gnarliest of tests in Gigabyte's warehouse facilities in Taiwan. That means that they've been stressed under extreme load use case scenarios, under high heat, high pressure. They probably have like people jump on
Are they
them.
still using that hot room that they built for that?
I would imagine so. I can't imagine they'd stop using that thing. So yeah, we did take a tour of the Gigabyte factory and just sort of saw some of their testing setups for QA,
Yeah.
to make sure that products are going to be able to withstand the most extreme balls to the wall scenarios. And it's pretty impressive. It's pretty impressive the setups they have.
And you walk over and it's like warehouse, and then there's this wall with windows in it, and like in there is where we would do the ultra durable testing. And like the temperature is always 55 C or hotter.
Yeah.
And there's just racks and racks of parts in there that are being tested under load. And then there's like a person walking around in there with like a checklist, and there's I feel so bad for that person.
Yeah, right.
That must be miserable to to check on those systems and whatever is
Right.
required there. But
Can't you reassign me to the Chernobyl office or something? Like,
personal air conditioner suit or something like that. But
yeah, but there really is like sort of this torture test that Gigabyte puts some of their products through in order to receive an ultra durable certification. And so if you see that badge, it actually means something. We've seen it ourselves. It means that it's survived and endured some insane torture. But that's that drive. It's just called the Aorus NVMe Gen 4 SSD, which I guess is really all you need. And then finally, last article for my half is about CD Projekt Red, the developers of Cyberpunk 2077, essentially revealing the specs that they used for their PC that they used to run the E3 demo. So this is from Spiel Times. They reported that the system that they used consists of an RTX Titan and an 8700K from Intel on an Asus ROG Strix Z370i gaming ITX board. So they're using a mini ITX board, which I thought was kind of interesting, and a Samsung 960 Pro. They actually did a callback to what the CD Projekt Red demo system looked like at Gamescom last year, and it's very similar to this one, except they upgraded the GPU from a GTX 1080 Ti to now an RTX Titan, which makes sense because the game was recently announced to support ray tracing. So if they wanted to show that off, in their demo, then obviously they need the hardware support to drive it. Excuse me. We don't know the resolution or the frame rate that the demo was run at, but I'm also confused because wasn't this just a cinematic trailer? Like, I'm wondering, like, did they need all these crazy specs if it was just couldn't they have just made it an MOV file, like rendered it out as a video? There was no gameplay to my knowledge, right? They didn't actually show any gameplay, real-time rendering of the title. So
I feel like a lot of games now, when they run the demo, they'll tell you it's not a video that's playing the game. It's the demo being rendered.
Right.
So I don't know if that was the case here or not.
Yeah, then that probably makes sense if this was the game engine running rather than just a video file.
I'm not showing this, by the way. I know you were sad about. Did you get flagged last week?
I don't think I did.
Really?
Yeah.
All of those E3 videos that we showed, and you didn't get.
I honestly think it's still monetized. Let me double check.
Well, hey.
This is an ad, the first thing that plays. How's that possible? I showed like 12 different trailers from major publishers and developers.
Yeah.
Not a single flag. I hate you, YouTube. I'm not asking to be demonetized, by the way. I'm just saying you're very inconsistent with your algorithm. All right. What is comforting to know about this game is that because it's going to be cross-platform on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, it should mean that it's going to be fairly scalable. So you should be able to run this game pretty effectively with, say, an RTX 2060 or even a GTX 1060 should run it. Or if you're on the AMD side, like an RX 580, you should be able to run it pretty comfortably, 60 plus FPS, with quality settings that are either equal to or presumably better than what you'd find on a console. Obviously, since it is so scalable, however, if you wanted to take full advantage of all the eye candy and you wanted, ray tracing and stuff, you'd probably be better off with like an RTX 2070, 2080, and beyond. But yeah, I can't wait to see the ray tracing in this game, even though I probably won't even have time to appreciate it because I'll be killing cybernetic bad guys. But that's going to conclude it for my news section.
Yay.
We can move on to a news segment that I just pulled out of my butt moments before the show started, which is called Would You Rather?
Would you rather?
Would you rather? It's a super original idea. It's never been emulated anywhere else in the world. Came up with it myself.
It's like Never Have I Ever?
No, not quite, but maybe. Well, I think there is an actual game, like a board game or tabletop game called Would You Rather, which I think is stupid. Maybe it's a video game. I don't know. But anyway, this is different because it's us and it's tech related and it's fun. It's better. Okay. Thank you very much, Sal, by the way. If you want to add any of these straw poll links in chat as we talk about them one at a time. So the first thing, let me just set the segment up. If you are truly unfamiliar with this concept, there's sort of two scenarios, and Paul and I can determine and discuss which scenario we would rather be a part of.
Okay.
And there's straw polls as well, so you guys can play along. There's, you guys, we'll look at the results after we argue our sides. So the first one is, would you rather, Paul, know everything there is to know about tech and PCs, basically be like an all-knowing tech god?
Okay.
You're omniscient. Or would you rather be half robot with extra strength and endurance capabilities? It's kind of similar to like an AUG from Deus Ex or something like that. So it's kind of, human improvement in different ways. So you don't have to answer right now.
I was going to say, like,
go on to the second one.
Are we going to do? Is there?
It's like the mental versus the physical, and then we also have the second one here. There's 4 in total.
Oh, okay.
The second one is: would you rather give up gaming forever? You could never touch another game, never play another game, mobile, console, PC, ever in your life, or would you rather put 3 live centipedes in your mouth for 10 minutes? And if you just need a refresher...
What kind of centipede?
Like the nasty one. Like the nasty ones. The ones that are like...
There's some that are poisonous and will kill you.
Okay, not poisonous. So you wouldn't have any risk of dying.
Okay.
But what the grossest looking centipede you can find on YouTube. And remember, they even though they're not poisonous, they can still bite you and sting you and can be very, very painful. So 3 of them in your mouth, live.
That's fake.
This?
Click on that.
It's not fake. I hope it's fake.
Ad.
I hope you're right. Oh, Roomba vacuum.
You don't have YouTube Red?
Oh my God!
What?
Oh! Oh no! No. Centipedes are, because we just adopted a caterpillar that we found at a farmer's market who was rolling around on a piece of cabbage.
Cute.
He's very cute. Caterpillars are adorable. Centipedes, I should say millipedes too, are super cute. Like a giant African millipede, cutest thing in the world. Centipedes make you want to curl up in a ball and die. Like I just want, like please shoot me on sight if a centipede ever even touches my foot.
All right, is everyone ready?
Okay.
Is everyone ready? And wait.
Oh yeah.
Warning.
Explicit content is coming your way. You might want to avert your eyes. Oh, God.
So 3, is that what we're talking about? 3 of those?
No, I mean, obviously it'd be the smaller ones that can fit in your mouth.
That's CGI, right? That's not real.
No, that's so real.
What? It's gonna kill him.
Oh, God!
He's gonna die. No way.
Look at how terrified he looks.
He looks pretty...
He actually
No,
looks
that's
somewhat
not...
calm.
Wow.
Okay, but see, like that, it's funny because that's a big centipede, huge centipede, but it's moving relatively slow.
Yeah.
If you look at the little ones that could actually fit in your mouth, they're super fast.
Oh.
They're like,
well, that's
like
good.
squirrely and stuff.
That's good to know.
Yeah, see, people are freaking out already.
Wow. All right. Sorry everyone who watched that.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
So, all right. So those are your options. So, again, we have giving up gaming forever. You could never touch another video game. Or have 3 live centipedes in your mouth for 10 minutes. Just a one-time deal.
Oh, so they just have to chill in there. You don't have to actually eat them or anything.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to chill. They're probably going to fight each other and end up biting the inside of your mouth several times. And I mean, just imagine.
It depends on what kind of environment you set up in there for them. If they feel they're safe and comforted, then maybe they'll just hang out.
Sure, put a couch in your mouth, a mini couch, and maybe a little Raspberry Pi TV for entertainment.
Yes,
they'll totally chill. All right, so should we go to the third one, or should we circle back to the first?
I don't know. This is your segment.
All right, let's go to the third one. All right. This is the third one. I thought this one was kind of interesting. Would you rather be able to hack anyone's personal devices at any time, or prevent anyone from ever hacking a personal device again.
Not my personal device, but any personal device? Prevent anyone
Correct.
from ever hacking any personal device ever?
Yes.
Oh.
So no one's privacy would ever be invaded, or you could invade anyone's privacy ever. So
I already know the answer to that one.
okay. It's probably the wrong answer.
Probably.
And it's definitely sort of the angel versus devil on your shoulder. And then secondly, although maybe not entirely, and then finally, I should say, would you rather, this is the last one, this is a kicker, would you rather lose both your testicles in a galaxy node explosion, or make out with your grandma for an hour straight once a year? These are the questions that need to be asked.
In perpetuity?
In perpetuity. Throughout forever and the universe.
What if my grandma's
or a similar family member?
Similar.
If you can't, if grandmother doesn't apply, then just replace her with some other comparable family member that would be equally uncomfortable.
Okay, I get what you're going for. So as long as
It's
there's
pretty
no, as long as
straightforward.
there's no necrophilia.
No, no. She would have to be. It would have to be a living family member.
Okay.
Yeah, which I think is worse.
Good to know.
All right, so let's go to the first one here. Paul, would you rather know everything there is to know about tech and PCs and be a tech god and know everything, or would you rather be half badass robot?
Well, my first instinct was to go with the extra strength and endurance abilities, because I feel like that's something that you could just have, versus with tech and PCs, you can work individually to gain that knowledge over time. So I feel like option A is something that you could work towards and do on your own, whereas option B is something that's kind of like, here, you get this and you wouldn't have had it otherwise.
Sure.
However, I don't want to introduce, half human again. It's too much to deal with. So I'll go with option A.
You don't want to introduce half human? What?
Yeah, I don't want to. That would suck to be.
To be half robot?
Robot, yes, half robot.
Okay.
That's what I meant to say.
Sure. All right.
Not half human, of
All
course.
right. Oh, God. Oh, I see what you did. See, I told you guys.
Were you seeing
not
what
me.
people think?
Yeah, let's see what people think.
All right, wow, that's pretty
Know
close.
everything there is. Yeah, okay.
Pretty close.
You chose wisdom over strength. I'm proud of you.
More people going for the
proud of you.
wisdom.
I
there.
probably would have chose half robot. For
Yeah.
the same reason that you chose, Paul, that you can just sort of learn on your own accord. And it'd be cool. It'd be a good defense mechanism to be half robot. If you're ever in trouble, it could save your life. Although I guess knowing information about tech and PCs could save your life too. If a guy came up to you with a gun to your head and was like, "What's the last generation of Intel processors? What was the price of the 8400?" I don't know.
That happens to me a lot. So
yeah. It could potentially either way. Either way, it could be a lifesaver.
The nice thing about the robot thing, though, is the little plug thing that pops out, like in Star Wars. It plugs into any computer system, spins it a little bit, and then you can hack it and see where the prisoners are kept and everything.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
That's nice. It's convenient.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Next up, we have: would you rather give up gaming forever or put 3 live centipedes in your mouth for 10 minutes?
I was gonna say the centipedes until we watch the video.
You gotta watch the video. You gotta know what you're up against.
We're not talking about that kind of centipede, though. So you know what? I'm gonna go centipedes. I'm gonna take the centipedes.
Oh God, no.
It is brief, for a brief amount of pain.
Oh.
Because
Oh.
I have this idea in my head that when I get older and I have more free time, I had more free time, I feel like, when I was younger. It was either more free time or I was just less responsible about my time. I have this idea that as I get older, I might have more free time again as I move towards retirement and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I want to play more video games. There's a lot of video games I'd love to play, but I can't because you don't usually make money doing that or everything. So.
Oh man.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with that.
I have a bug thing. I don't like bugs. I can't do it.
I read the creepiest post on Reddit the other day about a guy who that's his thing. He eats bugs.
willingly.
So, yeah, it was like on the confession Reddit.
Oh no.
So
like he just like without an audience, he just
like he
likes
says nobody knows he does it. He's done it ever since he was however long ago, and he describes various bugs that he's eaten.
Well, this is a shoo-in for him.
It was it was very creepy. Anyway.
He's got to turn that into some sort of money-making habit. I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm gonna give up games forever. I can't.
All right.
10 minutes of Centipede in my mouth is forever.
Wow.
It would feel like forever.
People are very dedicated to the game. 61% going with the peds.
Ugh.
The peds.
Can't do it. I'm not mentally strong enough.
Gotta munch the peds. Okay.
No game's worth it. All right, and then third one is, would you be able to hack anyone's personal devices or prevent anyone from ever hacking a personal device again? Now, what I thought when I heard this was, well, it's either a good or bad. If you want to hack anyone's devices, you're bad. If you prevent anyone from hacking it, you're good. But maybe not necessarily. What if you're hacking a evil person's devices and can help authorities locate or track them down to save lives potentially? You know, it's kind of like a tool that can be used for good or evil.
What if you're white hat?
Do you want the tool to exist so that you could use it for good, or do you just want the tool to not exist whatsoever so that bad guys can't use it, but then also good guys can't use it either?
I think this is a privacy issue, and I think people are entitled to privacy, and I don't think I'm entitled to see anyone else's private stuff. So I would go with option B.
Yeah.
Prevent anyone from hacking.
This is the equivalent of like being able to read a person's mind, which I think is like the worst superpower ever, because it would drive you insane.
If you wanted to make it less good versus evil, it should be prevent anyone from ever hacking your personal device ever again.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, it would be a very personal, more selfish decision.
Sure.
And I'd still go with option B.
Yeah. Right.
Because I don't want anyone hacking me. That'd suck.
True.
All right.
Results. Prevent. All right.
60-40.
Yep.
All right. That's about the split I would expect from our audience when it comes to.
You're all stand-up citizens. And finally, would you rather lose both your testicles in the Galaxy Note explosion or make out with your grandma for an hour straight once a year? I'm already married, so it doesn't matter if I lose my testicles. It just means that we wouldn't be able to have kids. We could always adopt. The scar, like, I would be kind of traumatized from the explosion itself and having to recover from that mentally. But I think I'd be more scarred mentally from having to make out with my grandma.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, grandma's years are limited. She's not going to be around for a whole lot, you know, like forever.
You said it was in perpetuity.
Well, until it's no longer possible.
Well, in that case,
imagine your grandma has 20 years.
I don't have any living grandmothers, so
okay,
I would choose option B because then it's just already done with. I don't even have to worry about it.
Okay, 20 years. Let's say hypothetically your grandma was around for 20 more years on Earth.
All right.
You get to pick the grandma too.
Oh, well, that's. Get to choose the hot one.
You get to choose the hot one.
That's horrible. I would go with option A here, just because I really don't want option B at all. And similar to you, I am married. I have a daughter.
You already have a kid, so it's
no plans for more.
Yeah.
So don't need the balls anymore.
Don't need them. You know.
I would request some anesthesia before the Galaxy Note explosion took my balls, but
sure. It'll save you some shaving time.
Can I assume that it's a localized explosion and just the balls?
Just the balls.
Out, so just we still have full use of.
Right.
Okay.
It's not like an AOE type deal.
Yeah, that's still rough.
Highly contained. Yeah. Oh no, it would be like the most excruciatingly painful event of your life.
Yeah.
So.
All right, here we go.
Not to be overlooked. Yeah.
People really don't want to make out with their grandma, which good. I think is appropriate.
I think. Thank you. This means that most of our viewers are fairly healthy in the mind.
And about a third of them, what the hell is wrong with you? Probably like to eat poop and stuff.
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Okay.
All right. So that was Would You Rather.
Oh, what a great segment.
Fun,
let's bring that
educational content.
Let's remind you again what you put in the lower thirds. The choice between cake and pie.
I thought there was no better option.
I mean, that's I'm just saying as a representation of what the questions were.
It's very
That
misleading.
one might be slightly easier to
Slightly
answer.
deceptive, yes.
All right. We're cutting.
Well, that's it. That's my half's
All
over.
right.
That's my
Yay.
stunning half an hour episode.
Good times.
So I guess at this point, we are going to have an after party. If you guys want to follow the link in my video description, go ahead and check that out. I'm about to set it live right now. Oh, the freaking centipede popped up again. Jesus.
Yeah.
So I'm going to set the video live for the after party, which should be set live right now. And we're going to answer your questions that you attach to any donations, as well as read off Johnson shout-outs if you picked up something from our
Change the
stores.
start time to 7:08.
7:08. 7:08. Not AM. All right. We'll see you in a bit.